All right, just testing out the audio. Hopefully it sounds good. Thought this interview was super interesting. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for I don't get in trouble for sharing it, but I'm gonna try to make sure my voice is not louder than the actual stream. Maybe I'll lower this a little bit so it's not so loud. But yeah, let's get started in a little bit. Very interesting interview, like I said. I very want to get on stream right now, but I'll start it off right now. In 1 second. Give me a sec, guys. I'll be right back. What's up? We're watching the stream right now. Let me see if I can get my camera up. About that, guys. 1 second. Okay. Those luchadoras. Oh, shoot. Why are they spamming codes in there? Okay. All right, let's get this started. Happy to have a day off today. Mrs. Fresco's a little busy, so we got time to stream tonight or today. Let's get this going. Okay, hopefully you guys can see me. So today we're gonna go through this stream, through this video from JIHOZ interview. I feel like it tells a lot about like the history of Axie, the history of Ronin, and honestly, it's kind of crazy to me to see a big, something huge collectors. Like one of the biggest things about NFT is collectibles, and seeing the Pawn Star people like just want to even have like Axies in their stream is so insane to me. Yeah, and they've been known for being big collectors. Honestly, the vibes I'm getting is that they're gonna do something with crypto just to try it out, and that'd be really cool because yeah, collectibles don't just end with like physical stuff. All this digital stuff is its own little section inside of there, and I think that's where like a lot of the stuff we value, especially in crypto, is that collectibles and ownership. And who knows, maybe it might become more mainstream in the future. But let's check out this interview. And I'm gonna try to stay quiet if I can, but I'm gonna be watching it throughout just because I don't want to, showcase their video. And shout out, I'll put the link to this video under as well for those who want to watch it. So let's get started.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You just got married. Maybe you'll have kids and you'll lose your hair.
It's already going.
Down on the strip where the neon glows, there's a little shop everybody knows, where history's bought and treasures are sold. Gold and silver, stories unfold. When the doors close and the lights dim low, Rick and Sean kick back, friends they get to know. Gold and silver by day, but at night, my friend, Pawn After Dark is where the stories and laughter never end.
Lower the audio just a little bit.
Welcome to Pawn After Dark. Today we have a very interesting guest, Jeff Zerlin, co-founder of Axie Infinity, Ronan as
Jiho.
well. A whole list of things to talk about today. So how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. It's surreal to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh man,
All right,
he's wearing
so
the
some
shirt that
guy
I was
who
going
is,
to fly to wear today.
I don't know. I don't know shit about all this online stuff, like like Pokemon stuff and that. So, what exactly is Axie
This is
Infinity?
crazy.
So, Axie is a game that we built to introduce people to blockchain. It's kind of similar to Pokemon or Tamagotchi, right? So, there are these cute pets. You battle them, you collect them, you can breed them. They have real genes, and you can actually even use them to earn your first cryptocurrencies. So, we feel like when you're introducing like a kind of scary new technology, it always makes sense to package it in some relatable way. So,
Okay, so it's like a.
Simple way of
So
explaining
it's
it.
like Pokemon.
Let me explain to you just a little bit for what. So basically, there's a
Gio's
whole
just
market.
like, okay,
well,
what
let's
is he
call it
gonna
the play to earn market, right?
it's a term that I created.
Yeah. So he
Play
created.
to-
I don't.
Is that true? Did Jiho create
and
that term?
Let's back up a little bit. I think
I
he
have a
got,
feeling he did, but I
some
just don't
inspiration from
remember.
a game called Crypto Kittens or Crypto Kitties. Is
Play to
that
earn.
true?
That's true.
Me
That's
And
too.
true.
so, what was your inspiration behind that before you started your whole venture into,
Yeah, sure.
Axie Infinity? How did that Crypto Kittens take a role in developing, what you have today?
Well, so I grew up as a gamer and a collector. Those are the things that really defined me as a young kid growing up. The way that I would basically get my father's affection was by like finding a rare beetle or butterfly, right? Because
father's
he was really
affection,
into
that's kinda
collecting
funny.
butterflies.
Okay.
I'm also half Korean, and all Koreans are like really into video games, right? So the first thing that I ever did
Believe me, they
on the
are.
internet was actually play StarCraft with my cousins across the world. So from an early age, I kind of had this idea that games would be a good way to introduce people to new technologies, and I also had this love of collecting. So I always kind of thought that crypto was boring, but in 2017 December, I discovered a game called CryptoKitties, which is basically a digital cat breeding
That's where we met, actually.
platform
playing
built
CryptoKitties,
on top
me
of
and
Ethereum.
Jiho.
And it
So-
looked kind of crazy and stupid, but if you looked at it a little bit further, you could see that, okay, these are actually digital collectibles that have property rights attached to them. You can buy them, you can trade them just like a physical collectible, but you're now able to do it on the internet. And for me, that moment really, struck this light bulb, and I basically
It's like
decided
the
to dedicate
evolution
my
of
life to
like
it.
gaming, really.
Okay. So you grow up with a father who collects. Sounds like he collect insects and fossils and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Did you grow up collecting anything, or were you
I've
more?
never met Jiho's
a
dad,
video
by the
game
way.
back
I
but
was
he
the
seems like a
assistant
huge
on my
collector.
dad's field expeditions, right? So I was always closer to the earth, and I had 2010 vision, right? So I was pretty adept at like finding rare shark's teeth, beetles, bugs. So yeah, I really shared, the love of insects as well as fossils with my dad, and that was really at the core of my childhood.
Okay, so
I
you
would like
grew
to
up
meet Jiho's dad
collecting and
someday. I
playing
think
video games.
He's a very interesting person.
You went to Yale College.
I went to I studied history there,
He
military and
always says
economics.
he's from Yale.
Okay, so
Always.
Got a lot in common.
yeah, you guys are probably both pretty smart. I will give you that, Rick. He's a smart guy. One day, I hope that you can create something as big as Axie Infinity, and I could ride your coattails once
They're
again.
ribbing each other so much in this episode.
We can talk about it. We can talk about it. There are things that you guys could be doing in the digital realm, like a digital pawn shop, right? Now that digital items have this ability to be transferred trustlessly between people anywhere in the world, there are like interesting digital businesses that I think you guys could eventually, right, over the coming years, start to look at.
So do you think if we were going to create a digital portion to the pawn shop, would we be strictly digital, or would we do like, how they'll attach an NFT to a physical object itself, and like sometimes they'll sell shares of it. For example, like Logan Paul sells all the shares to his, Pokemon Illustrator. Do you think
These guys have so much.
Do you think
connection
we
with
would open up like a
collections
online
and
digital pawn shop that has
really
just
cool that they're
like
getting into
NFT
this stuff,
collectibles,
too.
or do
At
you think
least
we attach it
giving
to
interest
I think
to it.
there's opportunities for both. You are seeing
All right, yeah.
you are seeing basically, right, like people exploring NFTs that are backed by Pokemon cards right now. There's also projects that actually do have a pawn shop model, right, where you basically will deposit an NFT and pay an interest rate on it until you basically repay the loan. And you're able to, through crypto technology, set up this contract in a way that basically functions
I've never
effortlessly
tried
without,
that, but
you wouldn't
be
have to hire
interested.
anyone to operate it.
If you need quick
And
cash and
you guys
stuff.
could potentially use your brand.
I'm just
to
scared
kick
of
something
being like
that
liquidated
off.
and stuff.
I think, I think
stuff
this is a good
changes,
idea,
you know?
Rick, you know?
Well, no, I mean, you guys grew up with video games and everything. I was like 10 years old, okay? And my buddy down the street, his dad worked for Sega. And he came home and put a Pong machine in his garage for the weekend. There was like 50 kids lined up to play Pong. I mean, that's, so when I was little, there was no video games out there. I mean, like,
I know.
like we were all like, oh, and you're like,
I one time got a
No, I mean,
Pong
like, yeah,
collection
we played
from
pinball
a
machines
yard
and,
sale,
like,
I think, and I thought it was very
just-
interesting that people
we were
collected
feral. We
Pongs
just,
back in the day.
No kid was allowed inside
There was
the
just
house
so
during the
many of
day.
them too.
So how do you get this idea? Because there was a huge NFT kind of craze for a while, right? And where does your idea come from? Like, what sparked your idea to create a game that would be, play to earn?
Yeah.
Play
So
to earn.
first of all, disclaimer, I actually discovered Axie as a community member. I discovered it and thought, hey, like, I can add a lot of value to this project.
It was Trung
Let me start
who,
trying to
Trung
help
and
them out
Masamune who
because
created Axie.
I like the art. I thought that the art
And
was
me and
beautiful,
Jiho
and then
joined
hey,
as
like
just community people.
NFT that you could
CryptoKitties.
actually battle, that you could actually evolve over time. These seemed like interesting use cases. So I decided to basically help. And when we created a company a year later called Sky Mavis, that's actually when I became, got this title of co-founder. But I want to be very clear that I actually discovered this while just looking for the next thing after CryptoKitties, because CryptoKitties had a moment. It showed that it could onboard a different type of person to crypto, a gamer, a collector, but it still had some issues with the economy, right? There was too many cats. There was basically inflation.
Yeah, the issue with CryptoKitties, and I was there for this, is they were so dead set on the idea of decentralization that any other ideas you brought up to that team at the time, it was kind of like the idea that, no, we can't do that because it doesn't fall under our core value. So they were set on a mission. They were set on the game, all these NFTs being distributed over the year. And after that year ended, they had literally no more plans for the project. It was successful for them. They went on to do other similar projects, but leaving a project and not having any devs work on it anymore, not having any new updates, not having any new events, it sort of killed the project right after. And it's a common thing that happens, is that these NFTs are so interlinked with the project that Jiho and Trung and all these guys just were looking for something else. Trung actually studied the breeding contract and basically replicated it and modified it to be something more. And from just the NFTs, they started building out of games and ideas. And, now we're moving into like Axie MMO as well. So there's just a lot of history there. And it just takes someone who sees an idea and a community that also wants that idea to say, like, this is how it is, but we can see it being so much more. And I think that's how Axie Infinity was definitely created, was just from inspiration from the community. But I was always very sad for CryptoKitties. They had such a huge lead on everyone in the community, but they just had no desire to do anything. No desire to do anything at all. Like, it is insane. Me and Jiho were pushing, telling them, okay, what's next? What's next? We want to do more. We want to do a kitty game, if you guys could do that. But they just were so shut down on any of those ideas. But you could see that team, I'm not sure what they're still doing nowadays, but Axie definitely has surpassed them by a lot. But gaming and NFTs have sort of always been interlinked. So let's keep going.
Of the cats, right? So we kind of thought about, like, now we're thinking about play to earn. Where did play to earn come from? It was like, can we take this idea of proof of work, where in order to create a crypto, you need to actually do something.
Shout
you
out
need
to
to
you,
actually put
Cafe
some time and
NFTs.
effort into it, right? That's like Bitcoin mining. What if we could do that through a game? Because
See, this is
when
where
I
the-
was, I'm
he-
not
he
an
starts thinking
engineer,
about
right?
it.
I'm not like a computer person. So when I first found out about Bitcoin, I was like, why should I buy it from the miners? Why can't I also like mine it myself?
Yeah.
So I thought that, this could be something that a lot of people in the world kind of feel like, oh, but maybe they would be interested in using crypto if there was some way to kind of simulate that mining and earning of cryptocurrency.
So like basically, the more you play, the more crypto you earn.
Yeah, it's kind of right. Like, the more you play, but you also need to be good at the game. You need to make good decisions. There's like there's a free market aspect of it, right? Where it's almost like
it's not as simple
you're running
as that.
With Axie, right?
Anymore,
you're running this
at
kind of
least.
like
At the start, it was
digital
like
dog
that.
breeding business, right? Where you can actually fight them. So there's that way to play the market. You can also like get really good at the game and win tournaments and things like that.
All right. Sorry.
And so as you're breeding your creatures, your dogs, they're getting more crypto attached to them, and that's building your wallet. Can you explain like a little bit?
Yeah. So
how that works?
Yeah. So Axies can be used to like complete quests, climb leaderboards, right? So you actually have to use them.
Back up. What's an Axie?
Axes,
You're like talking to.
I find this part so funny because he just
computer
goes
builder.
back to asking the original question he
He
asked.
keeps all his money in the bank account.
Axes are kind of like Pokemon, right?
Pokemon?
Pokemon, right?
What the heck?
They're
He has
cute
Pokemon on his
digital
line.
axolotls, and they have a variety of different body parts.
So
you can battle
those
them.
are Axies. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. Because I mean,
We should get an Axie, Rick, and we should breed it up. We should both get one. See who can, get a thicker wallet. Because I'm pretty sure I would dominate you.
We're definitely down to onboard you guys to run in.
What they don't
and we
understand is
set you guys
that
up
Axies only
with
have
running
like
wallets,
7
some
breeds,
Axies
and it
with your,
gets more
like,
expensive
unique,
every time. So
domain
there
name
is a limit.
identifier, so we got that all.
Yeah,
Well, he
need a
gets
secret
addicted to
Axie
video
class.
games on his phone,
Oh,
so
okay.
he might be quite the mind.
well, I'm just like. I mean, there's been plenty of times I've sat down with my Jake, my youngest son. Like, he wants to play like Call of Duty or whatever, and he just I pick up the controller in 2 minutes,
think
and 30 seconds later,
The more they understand it, the more they realize it's not as easy as
video
infinitely
games are a young
printing
man's game.
Axies. There's a
That
lot
style
to
video
it
games.
too.
But this is on your phone.
And you don't want to
So
breed
can you
your
run
rare
us through how the
collectibles
game's
either.
played and how people are actually able to make money off of it?
So there are different models, right? But let's use Axie for simplicity, right? So basically, with Axie, you can you need 3 Axies to start playing. Different Axies are strong.
So
in
how do you
different
get the
ways.
Axies?
You have
Buy
to
them.
buy them on the Axie marketplace, which is basically a
Not necessarily. You can use the
marketplace for
starter
NFTs
Axies, but to earn
online, right? So you use a crypto wallet to interact with it, and you're basically able to buy an Axie from anyone, anywhere in the world using crypto trustlessly without having to like.
So they're not
trust
actually
them at
buying
all.
it from you. They're buying it from.
Imagine.
Yeah, that's
Pokemon, the
kind of
new
the
Axie
crazy thing
class.
about this too, right? Is like the players actually
So
own
funny that
their,
he mentioned
their
it.
assets, and there's this secondary market, right, where they're trading with each other, and then our business model is basically just taking this fee, right, from basically all the secondary market transactions.
So when I
You
sign up
must have
for
a lot of
Axie, I'm
transactions per day, honestly.
assigned like one Axie, and then I build it up and try to get more and build those ones up as well.
Yeah, I mean, there are ways to get started, just to try the game out for free. But then if you actually want to go down the path
Yeah,
of
for the
earning
earning
some
part,
crypto,
yeah.
you'll have to buy your own NFT Axies or get gifted them from someone like me. And then you could basically use them in the game, complete different tasks, climb leaderboards, and then you basically will
Do these
earn
things
tokens.
breed?
You can breed them, yeah. So you can
So
basically
so you just
The
get
guy's so
two- you get
confused by that
two
option.
Axies, they get freaky. Like
You pay
gotta put it-
you get 2 Axies, you pay a breeding fee, and then a baby Axie is created. And there are certain specialist breeders who are like, oh, I think this combination of body parts will be really strong in battle. Therefore, I'm gonna kind of merge these 2 Axies together.
It's so
I think I have a
complicated.
genius
It's
plan
crazy.
to kick off my Axie career. I'm going to use Rick to help me make a post, and maybe some people will donate me some really fire.
Oh, sure,
Axies.
yeah,
No,
for
no,
sure.
we'll definitely do it. We'll make your
Yeah.
address
Okay, so,
known,
like,
and I'm sure
yeah.
the community is
What's
gonna
up,
be hyped
Ghostin?
to
How's it
onboard you guys.
going?
Perfect.
I'm down
I'll
to
try it.
donate
I'll-
to them
I'll-
some
I'll try it.
Axies. Like
I'll
I have
give it
a
a-
lot of extra ones too.
I'm
One
not
thing
really-
about Rick is he has an addictive personality. If he starts playing it, there's a chance
He could also play it on his
won't really
iPhone
stop.
if they give him
Like,
access.
Come on, Rick,
to
we
it,
got to work.
if he wants
I
to.
might
It's
rule
more.
the
It's really
vaccine
complex though.
That would be a crazy timeline.
Emperor Rick.
breeding is what brought me to Axie. Believe
that's
me,
always
My
been
worst
dream.
nightmare.
that's what
Emperor
all of
Rick.
CryptoKitties was, just breeding for a long
Okay.
time.
But there are different
So,
ways to play
yeah.
Axie, right? There are some people where for them they just want to collect the rarest ones, right? So there are Axies that were born in 2018, which is basically the year of foundation, right? And those original Axies, right? They called Origin Axies. There's around 4,000 of them, right? They sell for thousands of dollars. The Mystic Axies, which are even like a rare subset of those Axies, are like the PSA 10 Charizards of our world, right? They're like and one just sold for $46,000 4 days ago. I was like looking up the data.
And do those trade on the Axie network, or do they trade off market as well?
Yeah,
Like,
so we basically created, so while we were building Axie, we had all these problems because nobody had ever built a crypto game before, right? It sounds kind of crazy, right? So nobody had ever done this before. So while we were building Axie, we actually had to build a lot of
Honestly, breeding is. I used to do a lot more breeding, but now that the origins and stuff and classic are kind of not changing too much, breeding kind of got killed to me when mystics could just become anything. And when mystics could become anything, then the need for breeding went down significantly, at least for me. But I would like to go breeding some stuff from other games. Like I know there's Axie Quest. I saw some breeds that I would really like to do. I think no one's doing it because Axie Quest is such a little game. But I honestly want to go back to breeding, looking around for good combinations. Because building an Axie that you want exactly was really fun. It was super expensive though, especially for a competitive season where they could nerf everything and then you wouldn't get it. But if you go into the current seasons, you don't have to worry about that. They're not making any changes to the battle game. So if you want to breed a specific thing and pure breed it, it is possible, So I hope in Axie MMO, Axie MMO or Atia's Legacy, they could actually make breeding a thing again. And I think that a lot of people would enjoy it. Like they would enjoy that aspect. They would enjoy maybe certain parts are better for farming, better parts are better for battle. They could totally make a new shift in what parts you want your Axies to give. But maybe not give Mystic Axies the ability to become anything, because I feel like that sort of did kill breeding in the game. Yeah, there's so many combinations they could make. They could so do so much with breeding. I think the Mystic Axies being able to metamorph or the Origin Axies too sort of really hurt that a little bit. But now that they're not really putting too much attention to those games, maybe Axie MMO can bring back breeding in some way. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Let's keep going with this though.
tools and infrastructure in order to basically allow a crypto game to even be possible. And we turned that platform, that suite of tools, into something called Ronin.
Ronin Network.
So now, right, we have Axie, but we also bring
the
other
new
games
classes
to market.
We haven't seen the new
So
the new class
so, I mean,
parts
like,
and
okay,
stuff.
so like,
So
I
they're
know a
still
few years ago, like the NFTs went through the roof, and then they crashed. Is the market like found an equilibrium at the moment?
You have this in probably a
like
lot
a
of
good-
collectible markets.
I've seen so many booms and busts in my life with collectibles.
Yeah, and so I think people got
How does he answer this
overexcited in
one?
2021, right? It had only been 3 years old at that time, and a lot of funds were
missed that.
raised, a lot of promises were made,
I mean, I
and
didn't
a
see
lot of projects have failed, right?
there wasn't a lot of built-in utility in a lot of that early
Yeah,
stuff.
that's what
right?
we're really focused on, right? Like NFTs that basically get better as you battle them, that can be used to earn different crypto,
Sorry, needed the cough.
that basically form like the social network where you're able to meet friends from all over the world. I know people who have met their significant others, their wives, right? Like in our community. So
Yeah,
True.
When you, I mean, you guys, I mean, like I said, I don't know any of this stuff. So, like, when you're battling people online, can you lose your Axies? When you're
not yet, but that's
They
actually
don't
like an
die.
idea that
They
we're
don't die
thinking
yet.
about potentially in the future, right?
like it's sort of like racing for pink slips.
Dynamic
Yeah,
NFTs
there's
is
that
also
element
power.
of like, right, this is real stakes, and basically the ability to use crypto allows all of that stuff to be done in a pretty safe and trustless way.
Where do you see, Axie Infinity going in the next 5 years? I mean, do you think it's at its height right now? Do you see
it's at its low right
more
now,
things being
honestly.
added into the game? Do you see more people onboarding?
So as we were saying, there were a lot of teams that made big promises in 2021 and basically failed to deliver. With Axie and the games on Ronin, the activity right now is actually significantly higher than it was in 2021. Even though, right, like the market for some of that coins and stuff like that isn't as good. In terms of like actual real user adoption, there are more people using our products now than there were in 2021. Axie has around 280,000 monthly active users in places like Southeast Asia, Philippines, LATAM. Of course, also like we have Americans, Europeans that are playing. Okay. So over the next 5 years, we're actually building an MMO right now because we feel.
Okay, hold on. Like one of those terms. Like, what's an MMO?
An MMO is like kind of like World of Warcraft. It's a massive multiplayer.
I have a feeling it was filmed like a month ago.
You basically have people,
but I'm not sure,
all play that are able to all play together. They'll
it just
form
came out
guilds
today, though.
Or armies.
The interview
right?
came
They'll
out
battle
today,
each other.
So
They'll
usually, when they release
very
it,
social.
Okay.
Production
So you
usually takes a little bit of time. So I'm thinking it was like a month
for better
ago.
lack of a word, a metaverse, I guess. People living inside of the Axie Infinity metaverse.
So there was like a moment in 2021 where this idea of the metaverse started to become more popular, and I think a lot of that was driven by some of the stuff that we were showing. Right, people were buying the rare Axies for hundreds of thousands of dollars because people were wanting to flex, right, in the digital realm. People were also in COVID in places like Southeast Asia. They were actually able to earn like more than minimum wage by playing the game, right? And so I think we are definitely seeing over time our digital lives, our digital experiences becoming more important relative to the physical. But it's still, I think, like early to use the term metaverse.
Okay, all right. So how many employees you got?
We have around
Feels good for the
240.
ecosystem,
Right
for
now.
sure.
Okay, all right.
This
that's a
interview
real
was
business.
definitely.
And are you using AI?
I haven't watched it all the way through though.
AI has
First
been
time.
used in games for a really long time, right? It's just kind of trendy now to talk about it. But AIs are powering bosses. They're powering a lot of the.
It was probably powering your Pong game back in the day.
There's a lot of things that are powered in games by AI. I think in the future we will have potentially these like pretty like super sentient or super intelligent AIs that can help us do things like balance the game economy, right? Like come up with ideas for how to fix certain problems.
All right, now here's something. Could like AI play the game?
Potentially, there will be successful games that are just built for AIs, and people might like build AIs to battle each other in those games, and you see who's like the best.
They could do everything like super fast, and like they would like maybe yeah. I'm just wondering if that's
Yeah, I mean that's been an issue almost in gaming actually for decades now, where people will build bots, which are kind of like a primitive form of AI to basically try to play the game for them.
All right, yeah, not that So, God, it's just. This is all way above my head. This is like like I'm a cowboy
or Grand Arena is basically AI.
How did you
playing
feel
for you?
when you guys hit $1 billion, in cap? That had to be like a special moment, right?
So, I mean, there were a couple of billions that we hit, right? We hit $1 billion in revenue, I think around like August or September of 2021. We hit $1 billion. Axie was worth $1 billion as well in 2021. It's now worth around 900 mil. When those things are happening, honestly, right? Like
It was such a boom moment. It was
flying
crazy.
around fixing problems, right? Like your servers are on fire, people are complaining, your support desk is overrun, right? So when you have like massive traction that's going exponential, maybe you guys have like probably experienced this with the show when it was first going off, right? It's just like everyone wants to get in contact with you, everyone wants your attention, everything is like burning, and there's like a ton of stuff that's kind of like trying to fracture your attention in a lot of ways. So you don't necessarily have like a moment to sit back and say, wow, like we just really did that.
Is there something you like to do to take a moment and sit back from the chaos of building something this massive? Do you ever get an opportunity to relax a little bit here and there?
I mean, I'm very luckily and happily married, so I would say that that's been key for me.
Okay. All right.
Rick knows all about that.
But it's definitely something. It's definitely saying something, because like I think probably 99.9% of the NFT companies went belly up like by 22, 23, and you're one of the survivors and like kind of thriving now. Yeah. But do you do anything besides? You got any like hobbies? You go skydiving, ride dirt bikes.
He's a workaholic like me, Rick.
You were.
You know, I mean,
you're
I
not
like
allowed
to
be called a workaholic.
I like to read. I still collect insects with my dad. We just discovered kind of a state record for a certain butterfly, last year. So we're still going out in the field. That's so spending quality time with my dad.
They want to see how much of a nerd
I'm a huge Mets fan.
JIHOZ is.
Shout out to Steve Cullen. Sorry if you guys aren't.
Yeah, well,
but,
baseball season just started, so you're
yeah,
gonna get
yeah.
to a game soon, right?
So yeah, I think like baseball.
Baseball season just started.
My kind of hobbies with my father.
Interesting. This must have be filmed a while back then.
What I'm doing.
Because we just ended the baseball season.
We all like to
so.
relax and unwind a little bit, but it could be. It's hard to find time when you're doing something as crazy as this and such a large market.
It's one of the things that we were talking about that I found interesting is you said that you guys like have like a audience right in the Philippines and South America and stuff like that. I was kind of surprised because we met at inauguration. I posted a picture of us and like everyone in our community, right? Like even the ones who weren't American knew who you guys.
It just ended.
You were.
Maybe you meant to say.
Oh, it's crazy. Like
just ended.
I do commercials all over Latin America. I've done them for Asia. You're about to do one down in Mexico right now. Right?
I hope so. Let's not spoil. Let's not ruin it before it starts. But yeah, I hope so.
No, but I do a lot of stuff in Latin America, and we're popular. It's fucking crazy, because when I started this show, I was hoping for a season or two, and then. It just blew up. I think it's all because of Chum. Everyone loves Chum.
I think collecting is a universal human desire. There's just something about collecting and the relationships that are formed via collecting. Like for me with my father, but then also my father has a huge network of butterfly collectors that he's hanging out with, right? So I think there's just something universal and human about it.
But it was like I said, Pong was way before Pokemon. So.
Many of our community members wanted to pass along to you, Rick, was that Pawn Stars got them through really hard times or helped repair relationships with their father or different family members, right? So I think like what you guys
at the current moment, Manolo.
It is. I hear that all the time. People watch Pawns. I got memories of watching.
No actually meetups right now.
So do you? I mean, like besides the butterflies,
I think there is one
at the
in the Philippines coming up.
I mean, like
but it's hosted by YGG.
You collect Pokemon cards too.
I still have I luckily saved my Pokemon cards during COVID. So I went to my parents' house. I was kind of stranded there. And I was like, I heard that they were pumping, right? So I was like, where the hell are my Pokemon cards? I need to go see if, maybe I made some money. So I went downstairs, found them, rescued them from the basement and brought them upstairs. And I have like a shadowless Charizard.
Oh, wow.
It's a different language, Rick. Relax.
So I have some good cards.
Is that good or not?
As a kid, I used to sell shark's teeth. I used to sell drawings that I would do, and then I would like convert that into Pokemon cards. Okay. And it turned out, it was 1998, 1999. I was buying first editions, shadowless.
So Diamond Hands, you held on to them. So I want to go back to the Philippines a little bit. We are massive, and you had mentioned, that we had helped people through some hard times. You got a lot of that, through your community. But I imagine as well, especially in places like the Philippines where people are earning money playing your game, I'm sure you're getting people through a lot of, hard times as well. Do you hear any success stories, or do you have one that stands out about someone that maybe changed their life through playing your game?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, during COVID, especially, right, there were a lot of families
the scholars,
that,
basically.
Axie for them was basically a vital lifeline. You had also people who, rather than just only seeing relying on it for subsistence, you also saw some people buy homes and stuff like that. So there were a lot of type of article. I do like it's you want to walk this fine line, right? Because of course there are opportunities in crypto, and that's one of the main reasons that people are interested in it. But we also have to stress, right, that there are other non-financial benefits that our products bring, right? So meeting people, learning about a new technology, right? Imagine if you were basically playing a game that taught you how to use the internet in the 1970s, right? That game would be bringing value to your life regardless of whether you're able to make money from it.
So it's a modern version of Oregon Trail.
That Oregon Trail was a game that introduced many to the computer, right?
Yeah.
And
So
math.
I hear
remember
like a
that.
reoccurring theme is community. And, you know, I agree with you. Community is huge in the collectible market. A lot of my friends are, you know, I do in Pokemon a lot. I play Pokemon, the card game, not the video game. But a lot of my friends are Pokemon collectors or Pokemon players. And, you know, I found a whole network of people to relate to that
You know,
I normally,
forgot to do my
might not
Pokemon
relate
stuff
to
today.
through another part of life.
Do you
So
still play Pokemon Go?
I play Pokemon Go a little bit, but, you know.
I think like the internet and the fact that people from all over the world can talk to each other and stay in touch is so big for the collectibles market. I think it's like been a big driver of this thing. It used to be that people were confined to their homes and their towns, right? And they would hang out with the people in their town, but it would be, if you had a kind of a niche or an obscure interest or a hobby, really hard to find like-minded
People,
individuals. Maybe you go to
you
a
would have
trade
to go to
show
card
or
shops
something
or
like that. But
something.
now, right, there's this global 24/7 community that you can tap into and basically, right, always be surrounded by people who share your passions
Agreed.
and your convictions.
Okay. So I mean, like, so where do you see the game like 5 years from now? Because like,
That's what he asked him. Yeah.
you know, my philosophy of business has always been evolve or die. You know, so I mean, you got like big plans to like roll out
Apparently,
more games or like
gonna play
massive,
Pokemon.
you know, have a million different cool things you can do on.
Ooh, we got something good.
For sure. So the way that we see it is first we built Axie and we built the tools to allow Axie to prosper. Then we brought those tools to other games and saw case studies where by integrating our technology, the Ronin network, games like Pixels, which is kind of like a farming simulation game,
simulator.
saw exponential growth. And now we're also like starting to introduce people to non-gaming applications of crypto, like, you know, how to get a loan on the blockchain, for example. So our idea is to basically, right,
Still a little risky, honestly,
become this
taking loans
platform
from
for
the
people to
blockchain.
build games, but also other types of consumer applications.
Crypto's so
and
volatile
onboard
sometimes, I
everyday
feel.
people, not like nerds, not computer people, but everyday people to
never know.
the tech. And a lot of people say this, right? A lot of the companies that got fundraised and funded in 2021, 2022 said this, but we actually have done this, right? We've actually done this millions of times. The Ronin wallet has been downloaded 17 million times, right? We're massive in places like the Philippines and in certain countries in South
17
America.
million.
So now it's
Oh
just
my
about
God.
getting it to that next level.
A lot of people.
And, you know, I think it will take some time. We just had
How's
the
it going,
administration
Bron?
come in and they're making crypto a priority. So
Yeah, no. So like, well, no. I mean,
JIHOZ going off in
200
this
is a lot of
interview.
people, but it's still like there's tech companies out there with hundred thousands of people working. So like, you know, no, because I don't know a lot about crypto and everything, but you know, it's fraud. I mean, the main thing about crypto is fraud prevention, and because I don't exactly understand how it works, but I know governments are dealing with it. Every large company is dealing with it, and
Of what you're
yeah, you're
dropping?
sort of like on the frontier of it.
we're solving problems that have never been solved
Ujiha?
before. But you know,
Interesting.
for me, that was the type of work that I wanted to do.
So did you see yourself as someone who was going to create a massive company always, or did this just kind of
Can't
fall
see your
into you when
name,
you
by the
found
way,
the
dot Ron.
Axie community?
But maybe your name is Dot
When
Ron.
I discovered NFTs, I had just read Peter Thiel's book, 0 to 1. It was like pretty popular at that time.
I don't think
specifically,
so,
like
Manolo.
2015, 2016, 2017. And
The
to me, it
priorities is
seemed
like Axie MMO,
NFTs were a
honestly.
potentially huge market that could basically bring property rights to the internet. But it was still very niche and didn't look like a
They wouldn't be
serious
building
thing.
Axie MMO
And that's
if they gave up
typically
on
right, like
Axie.
when you look back at how massive industries are created, that's typically
Axie MMO
how
might
they form.
be
Right? Amazon just started out as an online bookstore.
where they focus
right?
on more
so you
in the
basically
future.
want to dominate a small niche and then kind of get larger over time. So when I discovered NFTs, I thought, hey, here's an example of a market that, you know, for the first time in my life, it felt like I was in the prime of my life for the birth of a new market. And I felt like I had to do something, had to get involved. And yeah.
Yeah, opportunities like that only come along so often, right? There's a boom every so many years.
Well, like, yeah, most small businesses, they start off in one direction, it goes all over the place. I mean, look at Sears. I mean, the guy started off, guy was literally at a train station and is walking through, and a guy had a little booth there where he was selling
That's how
pocket
Sears
watches.
started. I didn't know that. Oh, wow.
And Sears started talking about, I think I'm just going to go out. I'm just selling off everything. I'm just going to go somewhere else. He goes, how much you want for your booth and your watches? $50. He never got on the train. Started selling watches, then a little bit more, and then it was like the biggest retailer in the United States. And then
Dang, that's crazy.
and they got too big and just they went, like happens with a lot of big businesses. You know, they don't know what the hell they get out of touch with the public. So, so you have Axie Infinity, you have this platform that other people can use and things like that. Anything else beyond that you're doing?
I think that's really enough for me. So yeah, those are the two big focuses, right? Is
That's
like
a lot of work on just
like
those
the
two,
foundational
honestly.
flagship IP, right? It's kind of like the Mario of Nintendo, right? And then we also have like the platform that basically allows us to power different games, right? There are 500,000 people every month or every day that use the Ronin network, 1.5 million every month, right? So we have actually like. Everyone is kind of LARPing or like pretending that they're trying to onboard people to crypto and, you know, that they want to build something significant and real. But, yeah, we've actually done it and we have the numbers to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, we have a party driving by with loud music.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, so is there an app or something you download?
Yeah. So check out the Ronin wallet. You can get it on the App Store, Google Play Store. It's a mobile wallet. Basically allows you to store crypto, gaming NFTs, and transact on the blockchain. We got you guys hooked up with your very own Ronin wallets, and yeah, we'll definitely like show you how to use them.
So can I take like this Ronin wallet, Rick's credit card, and add some more like NFTs to it?
So yeah, we do have the ability to use credit cards to buy crypto on your Ronin wallet.
Okay.
You can obviously buy it on an exchange like Coinbase and send it to your Ronin wallet. So yeah.
So the Ronin wallet is also a standalone wallet. You can carry any crypto in as long as you can pair it with your Axie Infinity as well.
Yeah, you can hold, right? Like you can hold Bitcoin, you can hold Ether, a lot of the big cryptos on your Ronin wallet. It is primarily an EVM specific wallet. So it's kind of technical.
Hold on. For the people listening, that was an EDM. What's an EDM?
It's basically an Ethereum. It's kind of like an Ethereum compatible wallet.
I've tried to dabble in crypto a little bit. It seems I'm very intrigued by it, and I see like a very bright future in it. But someone like me who kind of gets lost in it, you know, I don't really fully understand it. Any pointers you can give someone like me to just kind of safely like dabble a little bit and kind of learn about the technology?
So a lot of people, they come in and they're just trying to buy a lot and speculate. What I would try to do is actually use some of the applications, right? Try to take a loan out on chain, deposit some stable coins and earn some interest. Play a game like Axie, play a game like Pixels. So actually use the applications, and from there, make your decisions after that, right? Like a lot of the stuff that is scammy or whatever, they basically will make these big claims, but they won't actually have a concrete, tangible product for you to play around with and be impressed by.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's, you know, I've tried a few times, and I feel like I always get left behind by the dump.
I'm here to rescue you, man. So from here on out, like, you know,
With
anything related to crypto.
Yeah, with your advice and Rick's backing, I think I can make this work.
Yeah. Well, you're making sense because my daughter tried to explain it to me. This is my youngest daughter who buys and sells some crypto stuff, and like, you know. And obviously, I was asking too many questions, and like she goes, "Dad, never mind. You're never gonna." Yeah.
You're never gonna get it. I think you just give me
funny.
a credit card.
No, I'm cool, dude.
I'll open up the wallet, and if I win, we win. If I lose, you don't have to think about it.
No.
Anyway, so, you know, happy to be a resource for you guys. I mean, you guys learning more about the space and potentially, right, like kind of amplifying, highlighting the teams that are actually legit, that are actually building value, that are actually going about things in the right way. That could right, basically do a lot to bridge audiences, and that's one of the reasons that I wanted to come here today.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to have you today, and
500
this is
views, let's
fascinating to
go.
me.
I mean, I definitely want to look into it more. Like you're the first guy who's made any sense with it because, like I keep on stopping and asking you questions.
Well, you have the
because,
main guy
I mean,
from
literally,
Ronan
I mean, like I'll
talking
try
to
and
you,
listen to a
so
podcast
he's the
or
one who
something,
would
and then,
know the
like, it's
best, I feel.
every third term I don't understand that they're saying, and I just get lost in it because I'm an old guy and an old,
It
like
is
old guy,
confusing.
book
And
oriented, everything
the
like
crazy
that.
part
and
is
they
that the
start,
older people are the ones that
all of a
have the
sudden it's
money
like
a lot of times too.
all these different things they start talking about. I just
So
get
they're
lost
kind of
because I
more
don't,
safe all the time.
I don't know what they're talking
these
about.
things.
But I
Which
like
makes
the way
sense, you know.
you you explained it to an old guy.
Well, you don't want to get left
Yeah.
behind, Rick, because crypto could be the new currency eventually. What do you think? What direction do you think crypto's going on? Do you think it's going to take over? Do you think this is something that will happen fast if you do, or
It's like, so you guys know gold and silver,
Yeah.
right?
Now
So
you're
you
talking
guys
Rick's
understand
language.
like Gresham's law, right? Like good money over the long run, right? Like value accrues to a superior form of money. And the thesis on Bitcoin is that it is a superior form of gold as well. And also like very much superior to holding fiat currencies. Why? Because it's programmatic. It cannot be debased by governments. It's basically money that government cannot fuck with, and it's supremely portable. The problem with gold is that you can't
can.
bring it on, right? You can't like bring it
Governments
on
can
airplanes.
pass
Right? It's
laws
like
to
super hard
prevent
to
crypto.
actually move around, right? I love gold. I've been a gold bug. I campaigned for Ron Paul in 2008.
Me too.
And I
They're
own
both
gold, but
similar.
I do believe that Bitcoin is a
Oh, shit, he followed you on
superior
X.
form
Nice.
of gold and superior form of currency, and then that has like trickle down effects, for the rest of the crypto
Yeah,
market.
well, I'm a big gold guy and silver guy, and like maybe even Bitcoin to a degree. I mean, I've changed my mind on Bitcoin because
Obviously, it went from like
I just like
10K to 100K.
I truly believe we've reached a precipice with like currencies around the world that it's a race to the bottom. I mean, everybody,
of course.
every government is printing so much money because,
Of course.
you take China, who's printing money left and right because they got to keep the yuan low, so they keep on having their exports. And then you have Europe; they keep on printing euros so they can have more exports.
Yeah, that's that key right there is the reason why like a lot of these countries like Argentina, the Philippines, a lot of countries, or Venezuela specifically, a lot of them favor crypto because their own currency is like destroyed. Like inflation, like the whole economic system is broken. It's like it's like if you release a game here and then you didn't think about any of the economics, you kept just printing money, doing stuff, no controls of it, and eventually inflation will destroy that thing. So a lot of people in those countries don't want to be paid in their country's money because it's valueless. It could like the inflation could go crazy and make it like you're holding it and it literally loses its value over time because there's no set limits to the money you have, like the money they can print. And the same issue is happening with the United States. It's happening with all the currencies of the world. I think they have a fallacy inside of themselves that only something like Bitcoin or something that has a set quantity, like gold and stuff like that, where you can't just keep printing it. You can't just keep making it out of thin air. So I do feel there is value. I think Bitcoin and Ethereum, or especially Bitcoin, are better like things than gold because if you try to actually like keep gold or store it, you have to pay a lot of money to store it. Like there's a whole system for you to be able to have gold and stuff like that. And not a lot of people can afford that. Not a lot of people can keep up the maintenance to make sure your gold doesn't deteriorate or whatever, and keeps the highest quality. I just feel like Bitcoin, all you have to do is have a hard wallet, you store it in your hard wallet. There's only going to be a certain amount of Bitcoin over time. And that's where the value is, being able to hold it without needing to pay for everything and knowing that there's a set quantity. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of countries over time will transition to part of their reserves to crypto. I just see a lot of potential there for that. Obviously, big, powerful countries don't want that, like United States, Russia, all these, or China. They don't want this to happen because it does take power away from them to the people that actually own these tokens and stuff like that. So there is a huge issue, and honestly, if I was living in those countries that have insane inflation, like even here in the United States, not even talking about other countries here, um, if you put your money in the bank, what are you gonna earn? Like 0.005% back for the year. That's like nothing. Like that doesn't even keep up with the 2% inflation that you get per year. So by putting your money in the bank, it's good for storage. It keeps you from spending it like crazy. But the bad thing is it's not building anything. Like you need to put that into something else. So I think a lot of people have always said like you only want to keep like emergency fund like of whatever supplies your emergency fund like 10% in the bank, but the rest of your money you need to make it work. You need to make it you need to invest it in things like stocks is a common one. Stocks have risks, of course, but if you're putting it into the S&P 500, over time the S&P 500 has shown to continue to rise because it actually rises with inflation. So it keeps up with inflation. There are down years where it goes under inflation, uh, but historically it's always gone up. Historically, stock markets have always gone up. So I always feel like that's a good place to invest in. But if you have all your money in savings, honestly, it's just gonna get eaten away at. $100 today is not going to be worth $100 like in maybe 10 years from now. So you got to invest, guys. You got to know how to invest. You got to put it into something, make businesses and stuff that will keep up with inflation or continue to go past it. Obviously, there's more risky stocks like Tesla and Apple and stuff like that where it's not as safe, but they have a lot of potential to grow just because of the technology. So yeah, please don't put all your money in the banks. Make it work, make it do something because the banks are the ones that are profiting greatly off of you. And because they get to invest, they get to use that money that you put in to do other stuff. Like, so yeah, do the best decision for yourselves. I'm not saying crypto's the best investment. Believe me, it's very risky. Crypto stocks are risky. Crypto is like 10 times more risky or 1,000 times more risky. So you got to know what you do, but I would honestly say you guys need to invest in your future and see how you do. Try not to get into credit card debts, any debts that you may have, because that keeps you from investing and that keeps you from buying Bitcoin when it was at the lowest amount. That, like, when you're in debt, you can't invest. So you need to really try to avoid those things in your life.
It's a race to the bottom. That's what's caused all this inflation over the
Yeah.
years.
And it's because of the debt, right? Because
Yeah.
all these governments are in massive amounts of debt, and they have no
Exactly.
credible
That's
plan
what
to
I'm saying.
actually pay it off. Therefore, they have to inflate the currency.
I
This
mean, like-
happens since the Roman times. Governments have been doing this.
Romans.
I was a history major, right? So I studied actually sovereign debt restructuring. That's also like why I'm kind of interested in U.S. politics at this time, because like I feel like we have a potentially a chance to actually change the course.
So has Trump announced any of the plan that he
Pro
has
crypto.
for crypto, or did he just kind of broadly announce that he's
I
going
think
to
it's
take it more
pretty broad
serious?
right now. The treasury. I mean, it's going to be the Treasury Department that does something with it, but it's like the gold in Fort Knox. I mean, it's we're not spending it or anything, but it's like a strategic reserve there, just so.
So if President Trump is watching, this is what I propose.
If President
I
Trump-
believe that we need to really prioritize setting up like some sort of a national oil mining force or expedition, right? Because the oil and gas companies are moving too slowly, right? They're making all these excuses for why they won't expand production. So I believe that President Trump needs to basically, just like we created the Space Force, we need to create the oil force to go out there, drill, and sell that oil on the market, thereby basically decreasing the price of oil, making stuff cheaper for Americans, and we can use that to basically kickstart the sovereign wealth fund. So
Yeah, I mean, we like.
Very interesting.
There's so many other countries that have a sovereign wealth fund, and we really don't have one.
It's crazy, right? I mean, Alaska has a state wealth fund. Why? Because it has a ton of oil. But we as a country have tons of untapped.
Of course, that's how a lot of countries, their oil, they're just selling it all the time. They have so much power because of it. And United States, we're not really drilling that much. Mostly because different environmental factors and stuff. But I do feel if you want to make the the United States strong, you gotta drill.
Oil deposits.
Yeah. So a
Because
sovereign
if you're
wealth
not
fund is basically
drilling,
like
someone
you
else is
take,
drilling.
like Saudi Arabia. They got
Look at Saudi Arabia,
hundreds and
exactly.
hundreds of billions of dollars that that the government invests, and then their profits off that goes back to the government, so the people pay less taxes. Me, on the other hand, I really believe we just reached a precipice where the debt's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. We're eventually going to have to inflate our way out of it because there's no way you could pay off $36 trillion unless you just really debase
lot.
the currency, like the Romans did. The Romans, literally, their silver coins. Now you take their silver coins from like when Julius Caesar was around. You go 200 years later, like 95% of the silver had been removed from the coins. And what did it do? Caused massive inflation.
Of course,
Well, you
it's
can't
not real
remove
anymore.
the encryption from the Bitcoin, right?
Well, no,
Guys,
mean,
I
it's-
believe Caesar was trying to solve something related to the Roman debt, and his solution would have basically hurt the senators, and I believe that's actually why he was killed. Kind of remember learning about this.
Could make
I'll have
sense.
to look into
there's
that.
there's a lot of theories on why Caesar was killed, but I just I don't know. A lot of people were jealous. He had a lot of goddamn
History
money.
always
he
repeats itself
He was
in
the
some
he was
way,
the
I feel.
richest man in the world at the time, and
United States
but
is the
once
top,
they
but
killed
you
him,
never
it was-
know.
I don't. They never thought it through. I'm gonna just go to a little bit of.
I think
Roman
no
history
empire
for a
Well, I'm
remains
sure
at
you
the
know.
top.
You
Brutus-
can let me know if he's wrong. All right.
Okay, so Brutus and all the senators kill him. Okay, and I think one of the reasons
Interesting.
they killed him, they were after their money. But then, once they killed him, they realized that if they considered him a tyrant, every law he made would no longer be in effect, and that would screw up so much of the economy because he made so many people senators and gave out so much money and everything else like that. That they're like, it's kind of screwed up here. So that's they didn't think it through when they killed him. Okay, but yeah, like I said, he was.
They
And then
were
after he died, everyone
rash.
even loved him more because he gave away so much money in his will.
Well, you said you studied history. Do you have a favorite period in history?
Good question.
I studied. I was into German war history actually, right? So like
His favorite is the Nazis. The Nazi era.
Like basically when the Germans and the French fought each other in the 1880s,
Oh, okay,
1870s with Bismarck. That's fascinating. Time
There's a
period,
lot of
right?
wars
Because
in
you
Germany.
basically have Germany's steel production starting to. You can basically see Germany's steel production starts to ascend, and once it like crosses Great Britain's, boom, you have World War I, right? So I always tried to look at right like geopolitics through kind of like and war right through like an economic lens, right? So that's the type of stuff that I'm interested in. Also like the creation of quote unquote modern central banking with like the Bank of England and what the Dutch were doing. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's been fun talking to you. Is there anything we didn't hit? Anything you want to drive home or mention?
Well, yeah, it's been
Getting
an
near the end,
honor
guys.
to be here, guys.
707 of you guys tuning in.
It's
Very
surreal.
easy.
When I started this journey, so I was just a community member, and I never would have predicted being able to be here with you guys. So it means a lot. If anyone watching this wants to learn more about what we're doing, definitely check out axieinfinity.com. RoninChain.com, and download your first Ronin wallet at wallet.roninchain.com.
Well, I think you said you have some wallets for us, so
Yeah, we're gonna get you set up.
I'm excited to go.
Are they
see-
leather?
They're
No.
digital.
There's hard
All right, so
wallets
did
that
you
are
bring an item?
physical.
Well, we try to have guests bring an item because, it's Pawn Stars.
Okay, I see. Well, I'm gonna set you guys up with your NFTs, but these are Axie plushies.
Puffy.
I know you guys are
Axie
in
plushies?
in the physical realm right now. Less than 1,000 of these have been created.
Oh, you don't
so-
know
I have
that,
one.
right?
You know.
Where
Okay,
did mine
so-
go? Oh my god.
Okay, so this,
need to look
does
for
this
it.
person have a name?
I have one too.
Axie?
This is
I didn't know
Puffy.
they were limited
This is
to.
Puffy?
So is this a character, like a digital character?
Yeah,
that
so
you
this
could
is
have
one
as
of
well?
the mascots of the Axie universe, right? So there are certain Axies that basically are kind of very well known by the community that aren't actually
Look for
NFTs.
my
So these
plushie. I have other
Axies aren't
stuff around
NFTs;
here.
they're
Let me
kind of
see.
more just part of the
Okay.
broader IP.
All right, so this is a Puffy. So if I eat it, it could kill me.
Well,
My
one
FNAF
Puffy
plus.
definitely has more hair than you.
Oh my god, he disappears into the night.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Because of the
You just
green
got married,
hue of the
maybe you'll
camera.
have kids and you'll lose your hair.
It's already gone. So, Is there other plushies, or this is the one that you said there's
There
how
are
many
some.
of these?
There's,
trying to,
there are
like,
some.
make
Like
collect,
there are
like, a
some.
rare one.
Also, like there's a 2018 a run that was like super limited. I don't even have any.
And so if one wanted to be notified, like, or how do you let people know the plushies are available? Where can you get them? How often do you do them?
They're
I just
thinking
sign
about
up,
buying up all
sign up
the
for our mailing
plushies already.
list, which you can do at axieinfinity.com or axie.substack.com, and then boom, we'll let you know.
And they don't physically mail you something. It's an email.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Getting
think.
this stuff down finally.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
All right, thanks, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited to start my journey into Axie Infinity.
We'll be onboarding you guys.
I'm gonna try it out, and if I need any help, I'll call Chubb.
And
Let's
I'll
do
call
it.
Jeff.
This is
Oh, yeah.
Pawn After Dark.
Interesting. A very good interview
Differences.
So,
from,
like, basically, the more you play, the
from
more
the
crypto-
team. Feel like he went really into a lot of the history of Axie and Ronin. Always very. I just loved, like, the idea of being able to go back to, the roots of everything. It's and just to see where we came from, sort of. Like, a lot of times, especially in the current moment, things are a little bit more down because of marketplaces and stuff. But it's good to look back, and I felt really bullish when I saw this today. When I saw all the tweets going on regarding it. Feel like we need this to have like, these guys are collectors from the Pawn Stars. They always buy rare things, so being able to just connect with them and is really awesome. I feel like there's more to this coming up. Like, they just recently started releasing this. Like, you heard the interview. He seemed to almost be talking like this happened like a few months ago. So I feel like maybe they have something that they're gonna announce. That's my hope. I'm not sure. Like, I'm not into the ideas, but having them have an online market inside of Ronin would be awesome. I think it'd be cool. And yeah, they just had to figure out all the legal things and stuff, especially because I think they're situated in the United States. There's more issues, but it was really cool hearing Jiho, like, his perspective on stuff, seeing how crypto will affect, which I strongly believe crypto has the potential to affect the future, in the sense of just how all these countries have let us down, in a sense. But it's all by design. Like, I feel everything from the starting design wasn't done right. And now every country's facing the same issue of inflation, same issue of, all this stuff. Other countries, have felt inflation in a greater level, and those people can understand crypto way better because they want something that they can actually work hard in, and the money doesn't devalue like crazy. So a lot of countries I see already transitioning to Bitcoin and trying to find some stability. My hope is that Bitcoin continues to stabilize over the years and doesn't have as much, like, fluctuation as it has now, so that people can feel more bullish on having Bitcoin and stuff in the future. Ethereum as well, like another good token for it to be used. And all of these games that we play, like, that have their own tokens that people can see the value. Like, I actually had bought, like, let me show you. Maybe I shouldn't show it. I bought one of these, like, literally a few days. So yeah, I bought one of these like a few months, like a month or two ago, because I really wasn't able to. I wasn't having enough, I guess, games to play. It's a Nintendo Switch 2. I'm playing Pokemon on it right now, actually. But I actually bought it, but it was the worst mistake I could make at the moment. Honestly, I wish they would give away Nintendo Switches instead of PS5s, because I like Nintendo Switch way better than the PS5 right now. But basically, I bought Nintendo Switch 2 because obviously the Pokemon game. But as soon as I started playing the Ronin arcade, and the codex for Axie Infinity, I just found myself with no time at all. Like, when you're so busy playing so many games, it's really rough. Like, let me show this. Let me see if I can get back to the right screen right now. Incredible interview from them. But yeah, I just have so many things to play now that I haven't been able to play my Nintendo Switch, which makes me feel like it was a bad investment, sort of. Let's see, why isn't it showing up on the screen? Let me try to bring down the other one. I think because I have one over the other one. There we go. All right. So basically, the Ronin arcade sort of fed into all of this for me. Right now, my Ronin arcade is kind of emptied out. You see, I'm done for the week. I skipped over a few. I gave my suggestions to the team to make this much better. And my hope is different projects like Moki or Grand Arena join it, because when you start playing all these different games, like whether you're playing Axie Infinity, Origins, Classic, whether you're playing this one, Angry Dynamites. Let me refresh this one. Like, you just start realizing there's just so many games to play inside the network. A lot of them are great. Like, this one's like one of my more favorite one, just because it's so casual. You can just load up stuff, and it takes is a few like minutes of your time to level up. And it's one of the better games. Angry Dynamites is one of the better games for the Ronin arcade. So I would strongly recommend people to play this one. It's the most free to play one, I feel. And all you have to do is just play a little bit, so you can level up your account. That's like the main goal, is to level up your account over time. So if you get started on it, I think you're going to earn some points from Ronin Arcade really easily. But it will take time, like I said, so get started on it as soon as possible. And some of these things have a lot of long time cooldown timers that you can't avoid. So strongly think, let me see, did I miss the boost on these? No. So yeah, I wasn't able to play my Nintendo Switch as much as I was hoping to. And like I said, that's a good thing. Once Ronin, that just shows the power of the Ronin arcade, is that for me, it highlighted that Ronin isn't just like Axie. It isn't just pixels. It can be so many other games too. So let me show Sunflower right here. This is another game I'm playing. Another game that's really good for free-to-play players. Like, it's a little bit loud right now. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. But yeah, this one's another game that you guys should really strongly consider playing. Sunflower. All you got to do is just spend time, like, just farming little by little. You could speed yourself up to do it too, but if you really don't want to spend anything, you can start off really slow and just build up your farm. All these games require is basically just spending time doing them, which I think is the best style of games, because then your time is actually worth it. Because as you get a better farm, you can complete more quests, do more stuff. But Sunflower has been another one from the Ronin arcade that I would strongly recommend. I'm going to make a video just on this, I feel. You do stuff. I've kind of completed a lot of stuff throughout the day today already. But I feel like I could make guides for games to play for Ronin arcade. The goal is for you to play all the games, you know? Fishing Frenzy, Sunflower. I still haven't played Lumitera, which is something I need to play off, like, during my off streams to catch up on that one, because I really don't know much about that one. I was playing Wild Forest the other day, catching up with that game a little bit. I like that game, but I know I'll never play competitive, but I need to understand the game enough to do the Ronin arcade task. So that's one of the things. And it seems like that one you actually need to level up as well. So once you have this done, oh my god, these are ready. All right, cool. So once you do this, this is done for today. Once you craft your stuff, you set your stuff, you're done with that one. And let me see what else. Another good game. This one does require you to spend though. So a lot of the quests for Sabong Saga, you have to have chickens. You have to have some chickens that are good at battling. So that one does, it's kind of like Axie. It does require you to spend time to understand the game. But once you do, you'll know what to buy. And this one does require a little bit more investment, but there are a lot of tasks that are for Sabong Saga. So just this one is more involved for you to learn, but once you understand it, so I would recommend study the game first and then make purchases once you know it. I got help from Battle Riot. He's one of the better players in this game who gets high in the leaderboard, and he helped me understand the game a little bit better, kind of coached me on it. So now I got a good understanding of this one, but without him, it would have taken me forever, honestly. The other game, of course, Fishing Frenzy. This one required you to level up, so this is another game that you do need to level up little by little. I spent a little bit just to level up fast, but you have to hit level 40. That's the key for Ronin Arcade right now, is to hit level 40. So you can access this one, the diving. And if I die... Once you access diving, a lot of the quests that I got for Fishing Frenzy was this diving, but it doesn't start. You can't even access it until level 40. So this is another game you have to grind. I'm going to take notes on this, so when I make a video on this, I'm going to let you know that you need to grind to get started on these. But yeah, those are the most of the games that I'm playing. There's, like I said, Wild Forest, that's on another, it's not a browser game, it's on an app. And yeah, so there's a bunch of games to play. Axie Quest was one for the Codex. So different projects you need to play in. But yeah, there's a whole ecosystem. You guys, if you want to really try out all the new projects, and of course, the two main games are Axie and Pixels. But to me, they were so limiting, especially when they're not doing updates and stuff for certain projects. You can play some of the other games, and then, you know, you feel more involved. You feel like there's so much different things for you to play. You're not so committed to one game specifically. And I think that has a lot of value in it. Because to me, I was getting bored just playing Pixels. Like, Pixels does updates maybe once every month or 2 months, depending on what they're doing. And if you don't like the updates, you don't like what they're doing at that moment, you can try out the other games at the moment. And most of the games on Ronin Arcade seem to be really active. And that's what I've been stressing to the team is, if you're trying to get us to put money or do stuff for a certain game, make sure that team's actually still committed to the Ronin network. Make sure that they're actually committed to building out their game, because getting an NFT or buying something from a game that has no interest to continuing is a bad thing for people playing the Ronin Arcade. So hopefully they take that to heart and make it better. But yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing in this game right now. Let me see. I think I was trying to wait for some fishing orders. I didn't complete my finishing order. I hate when I don't do the stuff I need to do in the game. This is what I was supposed to do today. Do these completing orders. So I like Pixels. I just feel like sometimes, like, it's really involved to play it. Like, you need to, there's just so many things to do that you gotta kind of start focusing on it. So it does have a lot of content, but not all the content is fun. Like, Taskboard is like one of the most boring contents I've seen. But we're gonna have to see what they do. I think they need to focus down. Like, personally, I think they should retire Passport for this game. I've always been telling Pixels, kind of need to retire it. Like, I just feel like no one wants to play that gameplay of just buying and delivering, you know. But it does help the ecosystem, but I just feel like there's better things to do gameplays wise. I'd rather be fishing all day in this game or doing something else. Like I said, so many different experiences. Let me see what I can do now. I want to complete, but I'll do that off screen. You can even fish right here. This is my special one that I have for myself in my land. So it's not Fishing Frenzy, but it's, you know, Pixels has their own fishing game and stuff. You gotta wait too. See when it comes out. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my god, I messed up. I needed to be quicker. Messed up for you guys on stream. Okay. But anyways, lots of opportunities. I'm not sure if I'll continue to stream later today, but thank you for everyone who checked it out. Paul Dragon, Joe Bads, Cafe NFTs. That's the way I know him more. Ghosted, Manolo Garcia. Thanks for checking out the stream and just seeing Ronin and what the potential is. I think the collectible aspect of Ronin is what will make it really great for the future. And hopefully, you know, as crypto becomes more mainstream in the future, these projects will also become more mainstream, because like you can play Pokemon all day and it's fun, but once you finish the game, there's not much for you to do. While in this, the tokens and stuff still exist long after like the starting stuff happened. So I think there's a lot of potential, and hopefully a lot of mainstream games start leaning towards this like collecting and earning side of things as well, so players have more interest in the games that they play. But anyways, guys, that ends it for this stream. We will be back on tomorrow. I'm streaming Monday and Wednesdays now, so I'll be back Wednesday, and we will continue on with whatever Ronin Arcade or the Codex tells us. But for today, that ends it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that stream from JIHO. Shout out to JIHO. Shout out to the Pawn Star team for giving us those videos that, you know, really shared a lot with us about the future. So anyways, guys, have a good one. We will be back tomorrow. See you later. And have a good holiday for anyone in the United States.